My name is Matt Stoller, and I write for the blog MyDD.com, and we're here with congressional candidate Charlie Brown, who's running against John Doolittle. Okay, Charlie Brown, explain the name.
I get that a lot.
What's the history?
History of the name. I was named after my dad's artillery battery. He went across Europe with Patton, self-propelled artillery. He had Charlie Battery. I have two older sisters. My mom got to name them. Dad got to name me, and I was named 2 years before the cartoon character. Not that that prevented a lot of schoolyard fights as I was growing up, but yeah.
Were you good at fighting as a school kid?
I never backed down from one, just like I'm not backing down from doing the right thing here for the people of the district.
All right. You were in the Air Force. For how long?
I was at the Air Force Academy, graduated in '72, and then served for 26 years.
Your district is fairly, leans Republican.
Yes.
Are you finding reception among Republicans to your message about John Doolittle, about what's wrong with Congress and how to set it right?
Very good reception among a lot of people in the district, both Democrat and Republican. Most people just want the truth. They want to know what's going on, why decisions are being made, and we're not getting that out of Congress now. We've got a Congressman, John Doolittle, who says, if you need anything from me, hire a lobbyist. He told that to the city of Lincoln. He told that to the city of Grass Valley. He told that to the city of Oroville. I mean, it's there in the papers when people do interviews with him of why isn't our city getting the money we need for projects. He says, well, you need to hire a lobbyist. That's the only way you can get anything. The people of the district are tired of having their elected representatives tell them, hire a lobbyist because I really can't do anything for you. So that's making them stop and think about, who is this guy that I never see at a public event, never answers my questions, and then they find out that there is a real alternative for him.
And you know, tell me, okay, so your son is he currently in Iraq, or is he? Tell me about where he is right now, and how that influences what your run for Congress. And
our son went through Sacramento State, took ROTC there, Reserve Officer Training Candidate, commissioned as a lieutenant, went through pilot training. He's now a C-130 pilot. So he's had 3 rotations in Iraq, flying C-130s. He'll go back for his 4th rotation in December this year. One of the motivating factors for this campaign is in February when John Doolittle, war's been going on for 3 years. Doolittle's never been over there. He decides he needs to go over there. Might have been for some good publicity. It's right about the middle of the Abramoff and Wilkes lobbying scandals, which he's right in the middle of. But so and that makes a press release that I'm going to Iraq to visit the troops, and I'm going to take my video camera. I'm going to talk to the troops over there from the district, find out what they need, find out what's going on, and away he goes. We get a phone call from our son one Sunday morning saying, hey, guess who I just flew? And John Doolittle was over there with Catherine Harris and Christopher Shea. Christopher Shea was on his 12th trip. He regularly goes over there checking on the troops at least. But they get helicoptered from the Green Zone out to Baghdad Airport. It's okay for the troops to drive those roads, but can't have congressmen doing it. It's not safe enough. Catherine Harris, Christopher Shea get on the C-130 that's waiting for them, and they're asking the crew, how long you been here, what do you need, where are you from, what can I do for you? All Doolittle wants to know is, can I ride up in the cockpit?
He's like a 7-year-old.
Like a 7-year-old. Well, but a C-130 is not very comfortable. Got nylon troop seats in the back, it's noisy, it's a little quieter in the cockpit. Then your crew can't really say no to a congressman. So, if Doolittle had been a gentleman, maybe he would have offered it to Catherine Harris, but don't know what the crew would have thought of that one either. But anyway, so John Doolittle's up in the cockpit, says hello to the aircraft commander, totally ignores the co-pilot, the flight engineer, the navigator. Just a few words to the aircraft commander, sits there, got his vest on, got his helmet on. About an hour flight up to Talifar. C-130 lands at Talifar, Congressional delegation gets ready to walk off the airplane. Co-pilot leans across to the aircraft commander and says, hey, I want you to go down and give a message to Doolittle when he gets off the airplane. So the aircraft commander goes down. As Doolittle starts to walk away, it's Congressman Doolittle. Charlie Brown and his son, hope you had a nice flight. Because John Doolittle sat about 18 inches from my son for over an hour, didn't ask him where he was from, didn't ask him what he needed, didn't ask him how often he'd been there. That time it was his third rotation, and our son's since been home, and we know if Doolittle bothered asking him, what do you need, he'd have told him, we'd like for you to fix the cracks on the C-130s, because the wings are getting wing cracks. They've been flown so heavily. It costs $9 million an airplane to fix them, and maybe some of the earmarked money John Doolittle's using for pet projects could go to keep those airplanes safe so that 25% of the C-130 fleet won't be grounded. But yeah, Doolittle didn't ask him what he needed. Jeff would have asked, could you provide better medical care for the wounded I fly out of here? Because that's C-130s fly the wounded out. And John Doolittle has consistently voted against increases to the VA budget that would provide care for the wounded. And last, Jeff would have asked it, could you provide better for the families for the bodies I fly out of here? Because he also flies bodies out. But Doolittle there, yeah, again, he's voted against eliminating the tax on widows' benefits for the military. John Doolittle doesn't care about the troops, couldn't be bothered to talk to my son, and can't be bothered to pass any votes or legislation in Congress that would support the troops either.
Did he at least suggest to the troops that if they wanted anything that they should hire a lobbyist?
He didn't talk to them long enough to do that. It was kind of just get off the airplane, keep moving.
Okay.
And then he did a slick Frank mailer here at the start of August about how wonderful he was for the troops, but he failed to mention the fact that the disabled American vets give him the second worst rating of anybody in Congress for his lack of support for the troops.
Okay, and then tell me about Doolittle's former opponents, what they, how much money they spent. I want to give people a sense of the district and the politics of the district and the Democratic Party in the district, and why you can win this.
John Doolittle is a career politician. Went from law school to interning for politicians to the state legislature, where at one point in time he paid the highest fine ever levied by the California Political Fair Practice Commission for the type of campaigns he ran. Ran for Congress in '90 against Pat Malberg. In '92, the '92 race, Pat Malberg got 48% of the vote. Almost beat John. If we'd really gotten united in the district, Pat would have beaten him. Since then, it's primarily been names on the ballot. In 2004, the Democratic opponent spent $3,000 on his campaign. Doolittle spent $1 million. 2002, 2000, Democratic opponent spent $7,000 and $9,000. Doolittle spent about $960,000. And then it goes back. So Doolittle has so overwhelmed the district with his money that the Democrats have kind of fallen into disarray. So when I started this race a year and a half ago, we started pulling together the Democratic clubs, the people who just wanted hope, somebody who would be honest with them and tell them that I'm going after John Doolittle with everything I've got. And that has united people in the district. We've got over 2,000 volunteers in the district that have donated to me. We've raised over $500,000 now. Huge amount when you consider in 2004, $3,000 for this race. We've got even a Republicans for Charlie group that has formed that out of their own, this group of Republicans came together and said, we're tired of John Doolittle and what he claims the Republican Party represents. We're going to support you. We have a huge, everybody is just tired of John Doolittle and what he claims to represent.